Hey everybody, welcome to this video. In this video we're going to talk about what we talked about yesterday, which was how to read playing cards for yourself. This is a little bit different of a method and we're going to go a little bit deeper here, but I basically took all four aces out of the deck here, and what I'm going to do is you can just take the aces and shuffle them around, and I just kind of try to mix them up as best as I can. Then you lay them out, and this way, what you can do is you can ask for an action. Aces, well, actually, all the cards are about actions, but this is a great way to read for yourself. Is to ask for an action instead of an answer, because a lot of the times, like I said in the last video, we put our own feelings into these readings all the time, so that can cause a lot of problems. It can cause the reading to go one way or the other. So if we ask for an action, then we're just asking for something that we need to do to make something that we want to have happen. So, we can just ask a question, pull a card, and we get the Ace of Hearts, and, that will give us an action. So let's talk about each one of these cards now, so you can understand what the actions might be for each ace. So let's just start with the Ace of Diamonds, actually. The Ace of Diamonds would be a card of needing to maybe become more stable, needing to set out on a new path as well. So if you're asking for an action on some question like, maybe you're stuck at your job or something like that, sometimes the Ace of Diamonds says, hey, you need to set out on a new path, start a new job, go find a new job, start your own business. I would actually say that the Ace of Diamonds is more about business, more about starting your own business than anything else, because it's very business related, but it could also be, a new job, setting off on a new path, or things like that. So mostly Ace of Diamonds really is all about looking in another direction. If you're stuck and you're asking for an action, sometimes it says, hey, you need to go just another way, down another path. Next, we have the Ace of Clubs, which is my favorite card in the deck, by the way. But if we're asking for an action to take and we're doing this like action reading type of deal, the Ace of Clubs wants you to think. It wants you to plan out. Remember, clubs represent the brain. We have the two halves of the brain, third eye in the middle. My camera's reverse, and then the brain stem down there. So it represents the brain. It's all about thinking, planning things out, learning more. Sometimes maybe you're asking for an action like in the job again, and it could say, hey, you need to sharpen your skills. You need to learn something new. You need to make yourself more valuable. And that's a big theme in 2016, by the way, is that everybody needs to be making themselves more valuable by learning new skills. The people that do that really kind of sharpen their skills this year are really going to end up really far ahead. But the Ace of Clubs, if you get this card when you do like a little action reading for yourself like this, the Ace of Clubs really can speak to that in a big way, that you need to learn a new skill. And it doesn't have to be anything like groundbreaking. It's just kind of like a refreshing skill that you might need to learn. Next, we have the Ace of Spades. Ace of Spades, I would say, if you're doing this action reading for yourself, and again, this meaning would be different if you were doing a personal reading, but so as far as actions go, Ace of Spades would be about letting something go, needing to let something go so that you can move forward. I always call this card the forest fire in my readings, because it's about like burning something out so that new growth can take place. So a lot of the times if this comes up, the answer is actually pretty simple. You just need to let something go, and that's the action you need to take to move forward with this card. And finally, we have the Ace of Hearts. Ace of Hearts is all about renewal. Very similar to like that Ace of Spades, and well, really similar to all the aces. It's kind of like all of them combined, because it's about renewal, kind of like a renewing energy, needing to go for new things. That's one thing to remember about aces, is that they're all about the new, and all about new things taking place and new things happening and doing new things as well. But the Ace of Hearts could also say that maybe you need to take a little bit more time for yourself. A lot of the times if you're looking for an action again, sometimes it says go inside and really feel what you're feeling on whatever you're, looking to do, and really figure that out. That, it can be very internal. It can be working things out by yourself, and that's what this can do. The Ace of Hearts is actually a pretty deep card, so we can go even further than that and say that sometimes the Ace of Hearts wants you even to go the opposite, which is open up to more people. So it's kind of like one of those things. And I would say the easy answer here is, if you're sitting there going, okay, so what do I do? Do I go inside or do I open up? Well, it's the opposite of whatever you're doing right now. If you find yourself withdrawn and away from people, the Ace of Hearts would want you to open up to more people. It would be the exact opposite. If you're being really open and you're looking for a solution and you get the Ace of Hearts, maybe then that's when you need to go inside. So it's pretty simple, just the opposite. So that's how I read aces. Again, I'm not a big fan of reading for myself. I don't typically do it very much anymore, because again, the answers can be too kind of, based on my own feelings, and that will pretty much happen to anybody. So that's how that works. But if you want to learn more about reading cards, again, I'm doing this series pretty much all week about how to read cards. You can take my card reading course, which is at the link in the description below.